The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for Monday, December 16, 2019, reveal Steffi's life about to get busy. Between the fashion wars with Hope and the schemes with Thomas, she barely has time to sit down. All Steffi, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, wants is what's best for everyone, including, and especially, Hope and Ike Noel. Being fashion rivals is fun and games. They work that stage to come out on top, but behind the scenes Steffi wants Hope, Liam, and Beth to have peace. Unfortunately, that means exposing her brother and making sure Hope keeps Thomas at arm's length. Thankfully, it won't be hard to dig for dirt. Thomas is great at being a con but not so good at covering his tracks. He rushes into plans and leaves one too many loose ends and wants Steffi and Liam, Scott Clifton, get their hands on one of his lies. Everything will quickly unravel. Grab your snacks and get comfy because the coming days will have dark skeletons flying out of terrible Tom's closet. Once they're out, there will be no going back. As for Thomas, he continues putting everything on hold while he tries to fix his dad's life. There's no way he can risk Courage, Thorsten Kaye, going back to Brooke, Catherine Kelly Lang. If they decide to call off the divorce, Thomas will never get his way. He can't get close to Hope unless he can keep Brooke at bay. Shauna's, Denise Richards, more than happy to help. She's smitten with the powerhouse and will say or do whatever it takes to win him over. A little help from Thomas couldn't hurt. He knows his dad's buttons and what Ridge really wants and soaks up each and every tidbit. With her good looks and Thomas' scheming ways, they may just be a winning team. Thomas Forrester, Matthew Atkinson, revealed something interesting in The Bold and the Beautiful. He claimed that this time the lies and manipulation would not be his touch. Instead, Thomas wants to be the best man he can to try and establish a relationship with Hope Logan, and Ike Noel. Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, believes that Hope does not like Thomas, does not want to have anything to do with him, and would not be close to him if it were not for Douglas Forrester, Henry Joseph Samari. In fact, he told his brother exactly that after learning that Hope could return to the helm of Hope for the future. Bold and the Beautiful spoiler: progress through the workplace. Who would have bet that Thomas would sign a custody agreement with Hope immediately after the plunge in the tub? Savvy BB fans probably would have done it because they know that the lines of the plot turn quickly on this daytime steamer. Imagine a scenario in which Thomas now builds his regular connection and then convinces Hope to return to director line at Forrester Creations. No need, he's doing it. Hope's inclination to return to work does not mean leaving Beth Spencer behind. Madeline Valdez and River Davidson. He can take Hope's daughter to work. Which means that the child Thomas refused to provide information on the character of Hope and Atkinson at work. While Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, works every day at Spencer Publications, which is at least part of the reason why it was rewritten in that setting. The character of Zoe Buckingham, Kiara Barnes, was previously revived, as she returned from a forced exile after being fired. His exile, along with that of Xander Avon, Adane Bradley, was necessary because of their silence on the Beth question. However, both characters, along with others, were manipulated by Thomas's threats. The idea that Zoe would come across so much in Thomas and Vincent Walker's apartment, Jolo Cicero, was soapy, but it was necessary to push the plot. With what took place earlier this fall, Barnes' character became Thomas's ally in reserve. As the spectators recall, Thomas told Zoe that he would help her be hired at the FC once she had the chance to do so. Well, Thomas isn't in charge yet, but he's back to planning and probably just needs to convince his father or his sister to welcome her. When that point is reached, the Zoe factor can be reproduced. Liam is not going to allow Thomas to overthrow the life of his family and reform, in the sense of Hope and Beth. So, fans are preparing for Liam to counter his enemy using all the necessary resources. An alliance with Steffi and Zoe makes sense, as Liam needs intelligent support to keep Thomas under control or to force the next revelation. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that Thomas Forrester, Matthew Atkinson, upsets Hope Logan, Anik Noel. Shortly after agreeing to return to Forrester Creations, Hope discovers that Thomas also reported Zoe Buckingham, Kiara Barnes. Create a certain tension between the three characters. Read on to discover all that is known about this plot so far. Bold and the beautiful spoiler, Thomas Forrester's promise. The BB spoilers make fun of Thomas assuring Zoe that she would be rewarded for her loyalty. The villain told the former model that she was one of the people who hadn't thrown him under the bus during the Phobeth revelation. Besides giving her a place to stay, he promised that he would bring her back to Forrester Creations. Despite Thomas's promise, there are some problems. Zoe made a bold move and planted a surprise kiss on Thomas's lips. At first he seemed speechless, then he went back to talking about Hope. She called him for his behavior and insensitivity, but found no problems with his actions. It is said that when Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, and Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, ask questions, Zoe tells him everything. Bold and the beautiful spoilers indicate that, while Zoe tells everyone Steam, Hope is considering hosting Thomas in her offer. Of course, Liam and Brooke Logan Forrester, Catherine Kelly Lang, will fear they have completely lost their minds. However, after some conditions were met, Hope agreed to work again with Thomas on the fashion line. It is said that Hope will end up being shocked again by Thomas, without even consulting her. Zoe reports to work at Forrester Creations. She is not happy about the Phobeth scandal. It will create a certain tension, not only between Hope and Zoe, but also between Hope and Tom. She's been on the canvas for a relatively short amount of time during the 32-year history of The Bold and the Beautiful. During that period, however, 3 lucky men have been the love interest of Sally Spectra. Who's the man for her? SoapHub posed this question to BB fans. Read on for the results. Sally's, Courtney Hope, most recent beau, Wyatt, Darren Brooks, earned just over 50% of your vote. The two met each other at a time when both were unattached. Sally had just been dumped again by Thomas, Matthew Atkinson, and Wyatt was on the outs with Katie. Heather Tom, after she had matched up with Thorne, Ingo Rademacher. Wyatt realized just how much he cared about Sally after he learned of Flo's. Katrina Bowden, betrayal. He's fun, he's good looking, he's smart. Wyatt's the man for our gal Sally. Surprisingly, the man who came in second with almost 39% of your vote was somebody new. It's rare for BB to bring on a new character, but fans out there would like someone to come on who's maybe not a Spencer or a Forrester. Bringing on a new leading man would open up possibilities not only for Sally but for other women on the show, too. Liam, Scott Clifton, came in third with your votes, and Sally recently referred to Wyatt as his brother. But he only earned a little over 6% of the Bold and the Beautiful fans' votes. Doubtful, Thomas. Thomas and Sally had a great romance before he became obsessed with Hope, Anik and Noelle. He's shown more of the dark side in recent months, so it's understandable that Thomas didn't receive many votes. Only over 5%. Which man will be the guy for Sally? Our money's on Liam. Sorry, we mean Wyatt. Stay tuned to see what happens next.